Hello, everybody. I'm Diane Hernandez, and I've been an independent Avon representative since 2010, and I'm a national top seller, and I sell exclusively through my Avon e-store. And tonight I want to share with you an app that's free that I've been using since I've become an Avon rep. When I first became an Avon rep, I first started selling the traditional way, and then a year later I went on to selling online exclusively. And even though throughout that whole time I still use this app, and it's been a real lifesaver for me, and it's been really helpful in managing my customer service and now my team calls. So I love this app. And the app is called Google Voice. Now, some of you may have already heard of it. I know I've shared it. I shared it in some of the webinars that I've given, and also in some of the past how-tos, or have mentioned it in our group posts. Well, it gives you a free phone number, and it allows you to call and text and voicemail. And the great thing about this is that you can use this line for your Avon business exclusively. So when somebody calls this number, you can have a set up voice message saying, hi, this is, well, the way how I do it is I'll say, hi, this is Diane Hernandez, independent Avon rep. And so the customer knows exactly that they're calling the right number. So we're going to go over how to set it up and some of the features. The app is good for, well, you can set it up for Android, for iPhone, iOS, and for your desktop computer. So I have the app set up on my desktop, and I have it set up on my phone on my Android, and I also have it set up on my iPad. So I have it on all three devices, and so wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, I can always manage my phone calls when customers or team members are calling me. And you can also read text from your phone or desktop, and you can also read voicemails like email. So I have the voice messages forwarded to my Gmail account, and then I get a little notification saying that I received a text. So it's a really good app, and we're going to go through it. The first feature is, I'll go over the features first, and then as mentioned, I'll go over how to set it up. But just so you can see how great this app is and the potential of using it, of having your own organized calling system, and it's free for your business, I just recommend that everyone, that everyone would use it. So the first thing we're going to go over are the texts. So when you click on the text, let me go back to the screen for a minute. When you click on the text, it's the little voice icon there, the little message icon. And when you're in the app, this is on the desktop version. And later I'll show you how the mobile app looks. I have a screenshot from my phone. But on the desktop version, if you click on the little message icon, it'll take you to the voice text messaging, and this is on my screen. So I go to my browser, I click on the Google Voice icon, and my texts open up. And what's great about this is that I can type my text with my laptop keyboard, and I am the worst at texting with my mobile phone. I make a lot of errors. So this has saved me a lot of time, and has just helped me to have my messages more precise, and then I can go and edit it. So sometimes I'll even type my text on a Word document, and then I'll copy and paste it into the message window. So it's displayed on your screen. As you can see that there's a message. So that's one thing. You can use it on your desktop. But the other feature is that you can post your images. And just like you would on your phone, you can upload images as well. And that comes out handy if a customer is asking me about a certain product, I can use my Google Voice to text from my phone or from my desktop, and I can just grab the image and text it to them. And then, of course, you can add links as well. So that's the texting feature. And then the next feature is the call feature. And again, this is a screenshot of my desktop version. So if you click the phone icon, then it'll take you to your phone log. And what's great about this is that it'll show you the calls that you've missed and the time that it's come in. It'll show you a record of the calls that you've sent out and then the calls that you've answered. So it organizes your phone, your incoming calls. And then the next thing is the voicemail. And the voicemail is really handy. Again, you just click the voicemail icon. And when you click this, it takes you to the voicemail and it transcribes the message. So that's really nice that not only can you read it, but you can also on the far right, at the bottom, you see the little blue triangle in the circle. If you click that, it plays the voice recording. Sometimes Google doesn't always get the transcribe correct, but they do pretty good in translating it. So you can read it, and then you can also, it also is saved. And depending on your settings, you can have the voicemail sent to your text and it'll be texted to you, or you can have it also sent a notification to your email, which is great too, so you never miss these calls that are coming in. And then the settings. Now this button on the Google app are the settings, and this is where you customize the app so that you can have your messages transferred to you, sent to your text, to your mobile app, sent to your email, and then also you can connect Google Voice to your cell phone so that when you're calling out, you can use your Google Voice phone number, and when you call a customer, even though you're calling from your phone, all they see is your Google Voice number. So it looks professional, and it's your exclusive Avon number. So then once you click the settings icon, it opens up a window, and we're going to go over all these settings in a minute. But so far, I hope you're excited about this app. Like I said, I've been using it for well over 8 years now, and as they keep improving it, the more features, it's such a large app that I keep discovering new features that, I've been using it for 8 years, and then I realized, oh, there's a feature that I didn't know that was there. So it's a really, really good app. So let's go to how to get your dedicated phone number for your Avon business. First, what you do is you'll go to your browser and you'll click in Google Voice. And then Google Voice will come up, and then you click on anywhere that says Google Voice. And then once you click it, you'll see a window, and you can scroll down the page, and it shows you it describes what the app is and what Google Voice is. But once you're ready to get started and get your app, all you do is click the Google Voice button, and then it's going to ask you which version do you want. Do you want it for your Android, which is your cell phone, or do you want it for your iOS, iPad, or iPhone, or do you want it for your desktop? Now, if you have a computer, I recommend that you download the web app first, so you have a larger screen to get familiar with it. and then you can set it up on your desktop. But if you just have your cell phone, your iPad, that's fine too. Either way, you should download the app for all devices that you have. That way you have your notifications of when you get your calls in. So once you just select your device, then Google is going to ask you to either sign into your Google account or you can create an account. So if you already have an account, just enter your email or your phone number, and if not, then just click the create link. And then they're going to ask you to choose an exclusive number. Now you can choose a number either by entering the city or the nearest large city that you're in, or you can select the number by area code. So it's up to you. It doesn't even have to be an area code that is in your area. It could be an out-of-state area code or an out-of-state city. So that's up to you. That's your choice. Now, sometimes when you do select a city or a state, they'll say try another number, and that's because there aren't any numbers available for that area. So just keep trying. You might have to try a couple of area codes or a couple of cities until you finally get a phone number that you like. But once you select it, then you'll click the button that says verify. And all this is going to do is when you click it, they're going to ask you to put your phone number. Now, the phone number that you link the account to, more than likely it should be your cell phone or a landline. I used my cell phone because then I link that number to the app, to the desktop app. So that's up to you. So it has to be a cell phone or a landline. And then once you do that, we're going to set it up. Now you're going to go back, once you verify it, once you click that verify button, Google will text you or they'll call you and they'll give you a code. And then they give you the web address. You go to the web address and put the code in. And once you do that, then you're set to go and you can set up your Google Voice settings. So you go back to your app and you click the three dots at the bottom. That's the settings feature. And then you'll click settings again. And this is going to open up everything to customize this app for you so that you'll never miss a text, you'll never miss a call or a voice message. So first, when the settings open up, it's going to ask you to set up the phone numbers. And the first one is, I blurred it out, but it's going to show the phone number that you selected with Google, your Google Voice phone number. Now, I don't know why, but I have the hardest time remembering my Google Voice number, so I use this little feature always. So if you can't remember your Google Voice number, all you have to do is go to the settings, and it's the first line at the top that says Google Voice number. So that's your reference. And then let's see, the next setting is the linked number. Now the linked number is the phone number where you're going to make your calls out, which more than likely will be your cell phone. So you connect your cell phone number to the Google Voice number, and now when you're ready to make a call, you can use the app to call out, and it'll show the Google Voice number. So you just enter that phone number, and then the do not disturb. Now this feature is really handy, and I have to confess I use this feature all the time. So as your business starts growing, and even though I do my sales exclusively online, there's times when I'm getting tons of customer service calls, especially when Avon is offering a free gift, like the other day, and our customers, they forget to put the gift in, or there's issues that they didn't receive something in their order. And it seems like it comes in waves, but when I'm in the middle of a project and I can't be answering the phone all day, I actually dedicate my customer service call times, usually in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, but I'll just put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I have a personalized message, saying, I'm sorry I wasn't able to take your call, but I'll be more than happy to help you with your Avon order, which is nice because they're getting that personalized Avon message saying that I will get back to them. So having the Do Not Disturb feature is really nice because that way you can block out your time when you're going to make your calls and when you're going to accept calls. So that's where you would find that feature. And then, okay, so that was the phone settings. Now we're going to move on to the message settings. Now the message settings are the text. And so this is, the message settings are when someone texts you. So you can forward your message to your cell phone so that it comes up in your text app. And then you'll get a notification from Google Voice saying that you received a text. And then the next feature is it can also get forwarded to your email. So you can also get a notification that you got a text message through your email. And that can be any email that you want. So the first one, the forward messages, you would just put your cell phone number in that area where you would, so you can receive text notifications. And then the second one, you would put your email so that you could get your email notifications. And then the second one is call settings. So when you receive a call, it can get forwarded. Now with my Google Voice, I use my cell phone, and whenever someone calls my Google Voice, my cell phone rings. And then I put an icon of it, like a little logo, so I know exactly that it's the Google Voice. And then I can choose whether I want to answer it or whether I want it to go directly to my voicemail, my Google voicemail. So you would enter your phone number there. And then you can also get an email notification saying that you received a phone call as well. And then so you would put your email there. And screen calls, this is a nice feature too, because you can, when the phone rings, let's say you have it on your cell phone, when you answer the call, you'll get a little notification saying Google Voice, and it'll say call from, and it will give the phone number. So if that phone number is in your address book and you have a name identified to it, it'll show the name. Or if you don't recognize the phone number, then you can choose to answer it, or you can choose to let it go to voicemail so you can screen your calls. So that's another feature that's really handy when you're trying to block out project time. Then you can set that, you can screen your calls. And then the next one is incoming call options. Now this is the feature that I just discovered it actually when I was setting up this how-to, the record call. I had no idea that you could record calls, and when I went to one of the screens, I saw a call that was recorded, and it was a conversation between a new customer. And what was really nice was that I was able to listen to it and evaluate it to see how I sounded when a customer was calling me and I was introducing myself and my services, my Avon services. So this is a nice feature. And if you click in the little link, it says learn more, and that will tell you how you can set up the record call features. The record call right now, I tested it. it's only for incoming calls. I tried to do it calling out and I wasn't able to record the call. But if you have, it's still a good feature if it's coming in and you want to record the call. Let's say you have a training with a team member and you want to record the call, then you would just press 4. Once you turn on that feature, you would press 4 on your cell phone and it would record the call, and then you can evaluate the training that you have. So that's a nice feature that I just discovered, but when I looked at the recording, that recording was dated back into 2015, so it had been sitting there for a while. I guess I accidentally turned it on. Okay, so then next is voicemail. Now with voicemail, again, what's nice is that when a customer calls you or team member, when they call you and you're not available, or you have your Google Voice on Do Not Disturb, when the message goes straight to voicemail, then you can customize the voicemail. And what's really nice about this, and this was another thing that I discovered when I was setting up this how-to for this evening, is that you can have a different voicemail a different voice message greeting for different groups. So you could set up a voice message, a voice greeting for customers, and then you could also set up a greeting for your team members. And all you would do is, for your team members, you would group all those numbers together, and then you would assign them a greeting. So that's nice, so that it's personalized for either your team members or your customers. And so for this feature, when you click on the little blue circle, you can listen to your recording, the current one that you have available. And then you can also, by recording a greeting, you can click that and you can record your greeting from your desktop, or you can also record the greeting from your cell phone. And then once you record the greeting, or once you click record, then this is when you record it from your desktop, and you would just click the green button. Okay, and then manage all greetings. Now, what I do when I manage, like if I'm going to be out of town and I'm not going to be available and not be able to return calls, what I'll do is I have several greetings. I have an out-of-town greeting. I have basically it's an out-of-town. And so what you would do is you can make as many greetings as you want, and then you can assign it as your current greeting by clicking on manage all greetings. And then if you click the 3 dots on the right side, you can either delete the greeting, you can assign it as your current greeting, or you can edit the name. So that's the voicemail greeting feature. And then we also have the get voicemail via message. So when a customer leaves the voice message, it'll automatically get sent to your, let's see, I think this will get sent to your text, your mobile phone for it, and be sent as a text. So you can read it. And that way you'll get the voice message instantly. You can see if it's important, if you need to make that phone call right away, or if it can wait for later. And then the next one is get voicemail via email. And this one will be, the voicemail will be forwarded to the assigned email that you want it to go to. So these buttons on the right, all you do is turn them off or turn them on if you want to receive those notifications. And then the last one is let Google analyze voicemail transcripts. Now, the reason why they have this is because they're constantly trying to improve their transcribing. And so when you opt in for this program, then they learn from those voice messages, and then I guess they analyze the text and the actual voice message, and then so it helps them for future transcribing. But if you're, concerned about privacy, then you can turn that off. That's not a big deal. And then settings for the web. I haven't used this, so truthfully, I have no idea what this is. I guess you would get like a web, like a notification from the top of your screen if you're on your browser. But I just turn that off because I don't like to get notifications from the web. And then setting payments. Now this is important because when I first started using Google Voice, I didn't know. Well, I knew it was free, but I was still trying to figure it out. And I thought that I was going to get charged when I used the app to call out, and you don't. It's absolutely free. So you don't have to worry about setting up a credit card. They have the payment option. That's only if you go out international. So let's say we're in the U.S. Let's say you go to Canada and you're trying to call in. You're on an Avon trip and you have to call or listen to your voice messages. Then you may be charged. So you can set up your credit card there, but that's only for international calls. So if you're just making domestic calls within the U.S., you don't have to worry about setting up your payment. You don't have to add credit. It's absolutely free. So all these features are free, even calling out. And then the security feature is really good. Now, I don't know about you, but if you get like those unsolicited phone calls on your mobile phone, you can filter. If you get spam calls on your Google Voice, you can filter them, and Google will filter them actually automatically. And if you get an unsolicited call, sometimes I'll get calls from other direct sales companies and they're trying to recruit. They see that and they see an Avon rep and they try to get us to join their team. And sometimes they'll leave a message and they're really vague and you don't know if it's a customer or a team, someone inquiring, and then you call and they're just trying to recruit. So automatically I put them in the spam folder, and then whenever they try to call again, their number is blocked. So that's a good feature. You can take a look at that. Whenever you get a phone number that is unsolicited, you can go ahead and mark it as a spam number. And then settings access is this just sets up the contrast of the app so it's easier to read. So that's how you set up all these features. And there's a couple more features. When you go to the legacy Google Voice, the legacy Google Voice is their old app. They just recently, well, I'd have to say like maybe two years ago, they updated the app and they made it a nice clean look. But there's some features from the old app that are still really helpful. Most of the features from the old app have now been implemented with the newer version. But there's one feature that I really like, and that's where if you go to, I know it's kind of small, but if you see in the blue, it says more, the little more link. If you click that, you'll see that you can add a note. And so before they updated the app, I used to use this version all the time, the add note. So like if I was trying to contact, let's say, a customer and I kept missing them, I would put, left message and I'd put the date, or they didn't answer, or I got hung up, or I'd put a little note, they want me to call back. So adding the notes is really helpful for your customer service so that you can keep track of these customers, and then you can keep track of the phone number. Like let's say they've called you a couple months ago requesting an item and then they call you back for something else, you know it's a customer that you've already spoken to. So your conversation can maybe be a little more casual, or, you know, you can sometimes, depending on how large your customer base is, you may not remember this customer. And sometimes that happens, but when I have a note on that number and it says, you know, so-and-so called 2 months ago, then they called 5 months ago. If they call me again, then, you know, it's easy to say, oh, hi, you know, it's good to hear from you. And then it sounds like you remember them. So that's a nice feature to have the note. You already have the history of their calls. And then the next feature, and this is going back to the new version of the app, is this is how you can manage those spam calls. So on the far right of the app, you'll see the phone number, you see a message icon, and you see the 3 buttons. So regardless of what area you are on the app, so let's say you're in the text messaging portion, you'll always see those icons. So if you receive a text and it's just easier to call them, you can click the call button right there and it'll automatically pull up their number and then you can call them. The second thing is, or you can text them. So those little icons are there. And then if you click the 3 buttons, if you click that, this is where you can mark those phone calls as spam, or you can block the number. So if you get a phone call that you don't want them to contact you anymore, it's a spam number, then you can mark it as spam and they won't bother you ever again. So that's kind of nice to be able to send those phone numbers to the trash bin. And okay, so this is the Google Voice mobile view. So I took some screenshots from my phone and it's pretty similar also. You'll see the text icon and the call icon and the voice message icon. And if you click the 3 bars on the top left, it'll open up the settings view. And the settings view is that picture that's on the right there. And that's where you can also set up your Google Voice app for your mobile. So remember, you want to set up the app for your desktop, or if you have a desktop, because it's a lot easier to manage your phone calls and send texts through your desktop. Whenever my customers receive a text, more than likely it's from my laptop. And then it's because it's a lot easier. You have that full keyboard. But it'll also show the link numbers, and then you can also turn on the do not disturb from the settings, and then the forwarding and the message notifications. So that is the mobile version of the app. So I hope that this was helpful to you and that it's inspired you to go and check out this new app. Well, it's not a new app. Actually, the app has been around for, well, since I became a rep, and probably even longer then. So that's been like 8 years. So, but they do keep improving it. So I hope that this little how-to has inspired you to check it out and start managing your calls and making it easier. So before we go, I just want to leave you with a quote. And the quote is, "The biggest mistake a small business can make is to think like a small business." So dream big, and thanks for joining me, Online Beauty Bosses. And if you have questions, you can just go ahead and leave them in the comments section. If you need help setting up this app as you're going through it, just leave your questions in the group also, and I'll be posting the replay and the how-to sometime next week if I can get to it. If not, it'll be the week after, but I'll try to get it out as soon as I can. All right, Online Beauty Bosses, thanks for joining us, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.